Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I don't have a lot of time. My kids will be here in a minute. And I was actually wrapping up filming when I came across this article that I was like, no, I have to go over this. But I haven't even finished reading it yet because I think it's important to put it out there. So I'm going to link the article in the description box below if you guys want to go check it out. But I'm kind of just going to go over it right now. We know that his trial is set to begin November 30th for child pornography charges. He was arrested April 2021. He and his attorneys have filed a series of requests to ban specific information from his upcoming trial, including his 2015 admission that he is addicted to adult porn. The Sun can exclusively reveal an Arkansas judge sided with Josh and banned the confession from the upcoming trial. In 2015, Josh released in a statement, "I've been the biggest hypocrite ever. While espousing faith and family values, I've secretly, over the last several years, been viewing pornography on the internet, and this has become an addiction." Court papers obtained by the Sun read that the government planned to use that statement at trial because it allegedly tends to show his motive, as well as intent, knowledge, or plan to commit the crimes charged. So if he admitted back in 2015 that he was addicted to porn, then, being charged with receiving and possessing child porn could make sense, because he's addicted to it by his own self-admission. Now, Josh's addiction to adult porn is the reason program Covenant Eyes was installed on his computer so that the content would be detected if he viewed it, and then his wife would get an alert. His wife knew about this addiction as well, so she tried to do everything in her power, I guess you could say. Maybe not. She tried to make sure her husband wasn't viewing porn by downloading Covenant Eyes to his computer, and if he did view it, she would be notified and she could hold him accountable, I guess you could say. The child sex abuse material was allegedly found on his HP desktop hard drive at work, and it could not be detected by Covenant Eyes because he had basically internally split his hard drive into like two separate hard drives. The argument continued. Therefore, in the government's estimation, defendant's admission that he was addicted to adult porn is the necessary piece of evidence in the chain of events that prove his motive, opportunity, intent, preparation, or plan to download child pornography on the HP desktop at work. In Josh's request, he asked the court to ban the adult porn addiction and his adultery scandal, as they are irrelevant to the crimes that he's been charged with. Josh, who pleaded not guilty to the two child pornography counts, admitted to using adult website Ashley Madison while married to his wife. The documents continue. Further, Josh contends that if this evidence were disclosed to the jury, the result would be more prejudicial than probative. Since some jurors who are morally offended by adult pornography may jump to the conclusion that the defendant must have committed some sort of crime, while other jurors might assume that a person who is addicted to viewing adult pornography is more likely to be interested in viewing child pornography. The court agreed with Josh that the porn addiction is irrelevant and could mislead the jury, and it's been ordered that the confession is banned from trial. Like I said, when I talked about this yesterday, and we talked about the fact that the defense was trying to keep certain things out of court, I thought that they could probably get that. I thought that the judge may allow that, and the judge has sided with Josh. Josh also requested to have a statement made by Special Agent Faulkner from the bond hearing be banned at trial as well. So the statement that Special Agent Faulkner said was that the child pornography videos found on Josh's computer was in the top 5 of the worst that he had ever seen and that he had ever had to examine in all his years of working in that position. Josh's legal team claimed in their motion Special Agent Faulkner's subjective opinion that some alleged child pornography is apparently worse than other child pornography is completely irrelevant, unfairly prejudicial, and constitutes improper opinion testimony. The opinion will mislead the jury and needlessly waste time according to the defense team. The judge agreed and sided with Josh. The judge also denied the government's request to ban Josh's reasonable doubt argument that one of his 3 co-workers had access to the computer and could have viewed the illegal material. So the government, they wanted to make sure Josh couldn't use that as a defense. Like, oh, it was some of his people. It was some of his co-workers. The government, they wanted to ban Josh's reasonable doubt argument. The government did. However, the judge denied that request. So from my understanding, Josh and his legal team, they can use that as a defense. They can go to court and they can go to trial and they can say, it wasn't Josh. He had coworkers there and it very well could have been them. The government wanted to keep that statement, that theory out of court, but the judge denied the government's request. Now, the main one that I've really kind of been concerned about and that I've been talking about is the past molestation scandal. Josh and his defense team, they don't want that mentioned at the trial. They have filed motions to keep it from being mentioned. And so far, the judge has not made a ruling on that. He has not decided on if the government can bring up the past molestation charges. He was never charged for. But the prosecution, they say that it shows his alleged sexual interest in young girls. So I feel like if the judge has ruled on all of these and said, nope, can't be mentioned, nope, can't be mentioned, nope, can't be mentioned, then there's probably about a 99.9% chance that this one will not be allowed in at the trial either. Now, we've talked about this before, but in 2015, a police report was published that revealed Jim Bob, Josh's dad, confessed to local authorities that Josh had fondled the breasts and genitals of 5 young girls while they were asleep in the family home back in 2006. In Josh's response to the request, his legal team claimed that he may not have even committed the molestation to begin with. The court papers obtained by the Sun claim there is no question the allegations at issue arise at a time when Duggar was a child. And the allegations at issue in this case arise at a time when Duggar is in his 30s. Furthermore, there is no question Duggar was never charged with a crime related to those allegations. The defense team then claimed that it is unclear if the uncharged allegations actually constitute a crime of sexual assault in the second degree under Arkansas state law. The court documents also continue to say the report is heavily redacted and importantly includes no names or dates of birth of anyone involved, making it exceedingly difficult for anyone, much less this court, in ruling on the application of Rule 414 to determine whether Duggar actually committed the acts alleged in the report and whether the conduct, if committed, constitutes a crime, particularly in light of the affirmative defenses clearly set out in the statute. The documents claim that the ancient allegations are completely irrelevant to the child pornography case and will mislead the jury. So I'm not going to go over the molestation scandal. We've talked about it. We know about it. So I'm not going to go over everything that happened, but we do know that, he's due for trial. It starts November 30th. And there were several things that the prosecution wanted to use from his past. Ashley Madison, the molestation, and all these things would kind of show a history that he had interest in young girls or that he admitted to doing certain things in regards to young girls, sexual things. So all of these things I felt needed to be brought in, because I think it does matter. I think it does show someone's state of mind. Now, last night I was on a live stream and we did talk about this. The difference between a young teen doing this because he's curious and there is something a little haywire versus a grown man viewing child porn. There is a difference there. And, in my live chat, there were people saying, I think it's more common than not that young boys will do this out of curiosity. But they don't grow up to view, download and view CP. So you guys leave me your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Like I said, I personally think it should be used in trial. But so far, the judge has banned a host of things from being mentioned in trial. Now, they wanted to ban, the defense wanted to ban Agent Faulkner's comment that it was the worst of the worst. And the judge said, nope, we're not going to ban that. well, we're going to allow that. So I'm actually shocked that the judge is going to allow that, because I kind of was thinking, I guess it is his opinion, like it's based off his opinion, that I think out of all the cases that I viewed, this is probably of the worst. So I was really thinking that maybe they would ban it. The judge didn't ban it. So right now, I really feel like things are kind of leaning more on Josh's side. Like right now, I think things are kind of working out for him right now. Things have been banned that's going to paint him in a bad light. But I do have to say, is it possible to get 12 jurors that have no idea who Josh Duggar is, that has never heard about this situation? Is that possible or no? You guys leave me your thoughts about all of this. Does this kind of leave you feeling a little winded, like, oh, you got the breath knocked out of you, like, oh my God, here we are. The trial is right up on us. We know what we believe, and now being that all these things are being banned from being spoken about in trial, how is this going to play out? The one thing that we're waiting to hear is if the past molestation scandal, if that's going to be allowed in trial, and I really think the judge is going to ban it from being spoken about as well. That's my own opinion. You guys leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.